If you're like me and host a lot of dinner parties, you've probably had one problem where people turn up at the last minute and neglect to mention that they happen to be a vegetarian. It's a nightmare, but it's not that much of a problem because if you've got 3 basic ingredients in your pantry cupboard along with some vegetables, you can pretty much make this amazing dish with no stress whatsoever, and you only need about half an hour to do it. So let's make this beautiful vegetable tikka masala on the One Pot Chef. The great thing about this dish is that it's the ultimate in standby cooking. Basically, as long as you've got some vegetables on hand and 3 ingredients in the cupboard, which are easy to grab and keep a hold of just in case, you can make this pretty much any time you like. Those 3 ingredients from the cupboard: can of diced tomatoes, most people already have that, a small can of coconut milk, and some tikka masala paste. Now, tikka masala paste is basically a curry mixture. It's got all sorts of wonderful flavours and herbs and spices. It just basically is a great time saver because it takes you a long time to prep and chop up and grind all of the individual fresh ingredients together, and when you're in a rush, who's got time? So first things first, we're going to use the tikka masala curry paste. I've got half a cup of it, which I'm just going to put into the pan. Now, it's got so much flavour to it, it smells amazing. Now, I've got this pan over a medium heat, and we're just going to cook this stirring for about a minute or so until it starts to become really strong and aromatic smelling. Next, I'm adding in our tin tomatoes, a 400 gram can, and just chuck them straight in. These are just diced tomatoes, there's nothing fancy. And 1 cup of water, 250 millilitres. And just gently stir this together. The thing I love about this dish is that you can use pretty much any vegetables you like, so long as they're relatively chunky. So I'm going for 2 vegetables today. I'm using 1 small head of cauliflower, just 1 whole cauliflower, just a small one though. I've just broken it up into little florets. And a big slice of pumpkin, about 700 or 800 grams roughly, again, just chopped into chunks. The reason we're doing it chunky is because we want this to be a fairly satisfying dish, because you should be able to eat this on its own, although you can of course serve this with rice or noodles or whatever you like. But all we're going to do is just give this a gentle stir over just to make sure all the vegetables are coated. Oh, escapee, get back in there. 10-second rule. And we're just going to increase the temperature to high, and we're going to allow this to come to the boil. Now that the liquid is boiling, all we need to do now is pop on the lid, turn the temperature down to about medium-low, just so it's still simmering away, and then we're just going to allow that to simmer for about 20 minutes or until the veggies are nice and tender. 20 minutes later, and let's take a look. Ooh, beautiful. Now, I did give this a stir once or twice while it was cooking, just to make sure everything cooks nice and evenly, and that is looking absolutely gorgeous. Just test the pumpkin. Yep, that's nice and tender, perfect, and so is the cauliflower too, but the pumpkin's probably the more important because it takes a little longer to cook. Last thing to do is to add in our can of coconut milk. It's a 270 milliliter can, which I've just given a bit of a shake up because sometimes it can separate if it's been left in the cupboard for a while. So just give it a damn good shake, make sure it's all mixed together. And we're just going to pour that in. And we'll just give that a gentle stir. And this is going to make this curry lovely and creamy. And it'll also help to take a bit of the spice out of it, so it's not too hot. This is kind of a mild curry, so it's sort of suitable for everyone, so you don't want to accidentally burn people's mouths off, although this is a kind of a mild curry to begin with, but just in case you got any big wussies. And all we need to do is allow this to come back to the simmer, so it's just heated through, because that coconut milk will have cooled this down a little bit, and that it's ready to serve. Our vegetable tikka masala is complete, and it is absolutely stunning. The smell is just extraordinary. And what's great about this is that you can serve this entirely by itself. It's got sort of enough chunkiness to make it really satisfying, but you can also serve this with rice or noodles or any other vegetables you want to add to it as well. This is a fabulous dish and it's great as a standby option. Beautiful, steaming hot, and smells absolutely amazing. Right, I'm going to dive in and have a quick taste. Oh, yummy. That's absolutely delicious. And what's great about this is the sauce is got a lot of spices and herbs to it, but it's not one of those ones that's going to burn your mouth off. It's nice and mild, and the coconut milk really helps to tone down the spiciness of it. So you get to really taste the flavors of all the herbs and spices in that curry paste. And the vegetables, beautiful, tender, absolutely delicious. This is so simple to prepare. You've got to give this a go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Check out my other videos at OnePotChefShow.com. Until next time, see you later. For this recipe, I used cauliflower and pumpkin, but you can pretty much use any veggies you have on hand. You can use potatoes, sweet potato, you can use broccoli, you can use carrot, you can use whatever you happen to have on hand. That's what makes this a really universal dish, because you don't have to be totally adherent to a recipe. You can just use whatever you happen to have and just mix it all up and it comes out fantastic.